Well, I believe there was a fair amount of time, effort, and engineering that went into the placement of those safety cameras over a decade, and that those results and research papers would would stand and talk for themselves. So I believe it was rather significant. We had taken quite a few steps as a community of drivers into incorporating those enforcement measures into how society drives in those zones. That said, there's going to be a transition time from when those enforcement measures are gone and it gets into the zeitgeist of the drivers in those communities, let alone people who are coming into a community for the very first time. So that's where I think education, from the Ontario Safety League's point of view, is critical. So those measures, as effective as they were, aren't going to be there. That is the reality. Now, what do we do next? Education and enforcement.
Angelo shared his perspective on what removing these cameras could mean for road safety across Ontario.
I think we will need to wait for the evidence-based reports that come out. Just my opinion, it is going to take a while. There's going to be an overlap time from the way people were driving in those speed camera areas. It took them a while to understand that the cameras were there. They would get tickets, change their behavior. And now there's going to be a delay time between people understanding that the cameras aren't there, that they may not be getting a ticket, and changing their behavior. So that's going to be a while. But also, there's going to be other people who are maybe more quickly up to speed and are going to be changing their behavior like that. And if you have someone careful, cautious, following the speed limit, 40 kilometers an hour, maybe 39, 38, and someone coming up from behind, no intention of going 40, let alone 50 or 60, and then trying to weave in and out of people who are driving with under the old regime or understanding, that's where the problem becomes. It isn't speed as much as the speed differential between vehicles going through one of these community safety zones that can be quite problematic for vision and space within which to maneuver, let alone should one of those vehicles hit a pedestrian.
We also discussed whether this move could set a precedent for other municipalities or future governments to scale back road safety initiatives.
You want to put your faith and trust into the engineers and the municipalities who did all the work, the research, before spending the money to put it in. And there's going to be, I'm certain, lots and lots of reporting on the changes, and whatever those changes are, I'm sure the media has a role to play in getting that information out. So other municipalities are going to be watching, and I'm certain that we'll learn some important lessons, and other municipalities will learn from, hey, wise and intelligent people learn from other people's mistakes. Less intelligent people have to make that mistake on their own, and sometimes over and over and over again. And the way I like to think about it is that the best vaccination for a speeder is a ticket. And the police right now will be giving many more injections, one ticket at a time. So I think there's going to be some time for the consequences to be delivered to those drivers who out and out have no intention of following the Highway Traffic Act and going the speed that's legal and appropriate, and there will be backlash if there is a rise of incidents, particularly with kids in the school zone. But we're going to need to learn from these changes, and it's going to take several months.